Hi, I'm Dr. Zac Cartun, co-founder and chief medical officer of Stridesoles. I'd like to take a few minutes to tell you a little bit about our story and what it is that we do. The idea for Stridesoles was actually inspired by my time working in a hospital. Every day I was seeing patients who were really sick, people with cardiovascular disease, lung disease, and metabolic disease in particular. What's interesting about these diseases is that they generally take a pretty long and gradual course before people will end up in the hospital being seen and treated by people like me. Another interesting trend I noticed is that for so many of these people, their diseases or disease course began with small injuries or small issues with mobility. Sometimes it was back pain from an injury, and other times, not surprisingly, it was from foot pain or lack of ability to work out and move like they normally would or used to. Another interesting thing I noticed was how difficult it was for so many of my patients to come see me in person in the clinic. Now, these patients weren't as sick as those in the hospital, but they had to go through quite an inconvenience to come see me. They had to drive sometimes from 2 hours away. They would go through rounds and rounds of phone calls with their provider and insurance company to make sure they had the proper referral and also to make sure the visit was covered. And then on top of that, it could take weeks or even months to find an available appointment. When they'd finally come see me, many of the times a simple telehealth visit would have sufficed to diagnose their symptoms. So, this fact, combined with the point that a lot of really sick patients began their disease course with small foot injuries, inspired me to come up with Stridesoles. In the simplest terms, Stridesoles is an online podiatry clinic. But instead of getting a referral, making an appointment, and driving to come see us, you can do everything from home and on your own time. Our process was designed by doctors and patients to make sure it was as easy and clinically effective as possible. We have two primary steps. The first is taking a 3D foot scan. We developed our own 3D scanning app that you can download on your smartphone right now, and it takes an accurate image of your foot that we use to create a 3D model. The second part is a clinical questionnaire that was designed by podiatrists to replicate the same questions you'd be asked in clinic, but you can answer from home, online, and again, at your own time. Together, our team of podiatrists looks at your foot scan and your answers to the questionnaire to design custom orthotic insoles that can relieve pain, prevent long-term injury, and improve your athletic performance. Custom orthotic insoles work by aligning the joints in your feet and ankles and also distributing pressure more evenly throughout the entire foot. A lot of people ask, do they really need to be custom to be effective? And the answer is no. Over-the-counter insoles often have a lot of thick cushioning that can reduce pain in the short term. However, for the long term, it really takes custom insoles, particularly those made by podiatrists, to prevent long-term injury and improve foot health overall. I have an example right here of one of our patients who'd been suffering from foot pain at the outside of their pinky toe. And I think you can see this little wedge that we added to make sure that her pinky toe would be supported throughout the entire walk and reduce pain. Another thing I'm frequently asked about is the barefoot movement and if that's a medically effective way of promoting foot health. In short, the answer is yes. The problem is that most shoes aren't compatible with this movement. If you look at your average running shoe or casual sneaker, you'll see very thick soles which prevent proper contact between the foot and the ground. At the same time, the insoles of these shoes are quite flimsy and offer little to no structural support. Custom orthotics bridge this gap. They make sure that your feet is getting the proper activation that the barefoot movement normally allows, while at the same time reducing the risk of injury from really hard striking between the foot and the ground that's also a consequence of going without shoes or having little to no sole on your shoe. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about the benefits of foot health, how custom orthotics can help along that journey, and what it is that the doctors and podiatrists at Stridesoles do, head to our website, stridesoles.com, and check out our blog. You can also try our scanning app and see how accurately we can take a 3D foot scan. We look forward to helping you and feel free to reach out if you have any questions.